On behalf of the ODPP, I'm delighted to welcome you all to the validation workshop on the standard operating procedures for prosecution of female genital mutilation as a harmful cultural practice. I would like to take this opportunity first to express my gratitude to the United Nations Population Fund for partnering with the ODPP in organizing this workshop. This workshop brings together the actors in the fight against FGM, including the judiciary, the ODPP, the National Police Service, Department of Children's Services, the Ministry of Health, the Anti-FGM Board, the Law Society of Kenya, the county commissioners, the civil society, amongst others. The diversity of expertise drawn from this institution underscores the fact that a multifaceted and multidisciplinary approach is critical to combating FGM. As we all are aware, FGM is one of the most serious human rights violations against women and girls, especially girls, as it causes extreme pain, both physical and psychological, permanent scarring, childbirth, complications, psychological dysfunction, trauma, depression, and even death. And this is something I have myself experienced with family members, coming from the Northeast. We recognize Kenya's long-standing efforts to eradicate FGM through the ratification of international human rights instruments and protocols, like the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women and the Protocol to the African Charter on Human and People's Rights on the Rights of Women in Africa. These international and regional instruments call on state parties to condemn discrimination against women and to end all forms of gender-based discrimination against women and girls, including FGM. We have also seen the enactment of Prohibition of Female Genital Mutilation Act 2011, which prohibits the practice of FGM and safeguards against the violation of a person's mental or physical integrity through the practice of FGM. Further, the government of Kenya is committed to ending FGM by 2022 through various collaborative policies and strategies, such as the implementation of the National Policy for the Eradication of FGM and the socio-economic driven strategies like the Johari Beads Initiative, which seeks to raise awareness on ending FGM and promotion of the well-being of women and girls. In recognizing our critical role in ending FGM, the ODPP has developed the standing operating procedures for prosecution of FGM as a harmful cultural practice. The main objective of these SOPs that we are discussing today is to standardize and ensure consistency and efficiency in the investigation and prosecution of FGM cases. The SOP seeks to protect the rights of victims and witnesses and enhance cooperation, collaboration, and coordination with other agencies. The SOPs are an unequivocal example of the ODPP's commitment to joining hands with all relevant partners, stakeholders, and agencies, and share a similar urgent and collective vision to end FGM in Kenya and ultimately protect our women and girls from this harmful cultural practice. In addition to these SOPs, the ODPP has played an important part in the fight against FGM through the establishment of a specialized anti-FGM unit staffed with 50 prosecutors in the 22 hotspots countrywide. The implementation of the FGM Act through efficient and effective prosecution of all matters related to FGM and other harmful cultural practices such as children marriages. Membership of the National Multi-Agency Technical Committee and the County Anti-FGM Steering Committees formed to fast-track the implementation of the Presidential Directive to eliminate FGM by 2022, which is estimated next year. Engaging in community sensitizations across the country, participated in the International Day on Zero Tolerance to FGM held on 6th February 2021 at Alea in West Pokot. However, we must acknowledge that despite our efforts towards eradicating FGM, we still face challenges in the prosecution of these cases. This is due to hostility from communities practicing FGM, and sadly, especially from women, medicalization of FGM by some professionals, low reporting and poor documentation of evidence in FGM cases, the lack of proper investigation in reported cases, cross-border FGM practices and witness intimidation and threats, among others. In light of these challenges, it is clear that we must adopt mutually contrived strategies that will ensure that all actors involved in ending FGM discharge their duties with integrity, transparency, and accountability. We therefore welcome your continued partnership as we seek to end FGM in Kenya. We look forward to your robust contribution and proposal during the validation exercises of the SOPs. In particular, we hope that we will jointly develop an action plan for stakeholders, sensitization, implementation, and dissemination of these SOPs. It is my sincere hope that SOPs will enhance enforcement and implementation of the Prohibition of FGM Act and contribute towards the eradication of FGM in line with His Excellency the President's commitment to end FGM by 2022. As I conclude, it is important that we remember that when our girls are not at a high risk of illness or death from FGM, when their dignity and their fundamental rights to health, physical integrity, and security are protected, they become assets to the country's development. Indeed, under the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, the call to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls by ending FGM could not be clearer. This call can only be achieved when we appreciate, uplift, and protect in equal measure the invaluable role of women and girls in our society. As ODPP, we will strive to ensure that women and girls that pass through the criminal justice system enjoy full gender equality. We call upon like-minded partners to join us in the journey as we strive to uphold the rule of law, respect for human rights, and human dignity as envisioned in the Constitution. As ODPP, as I said, we take this FGM issue with the gravity and the attention that it deserves. And because of this, we felt that it is high time to be able to come up with SOPs that will guide not only the prosecutors, but also the investigators. As gatekeepers of the criminal justice system, we have also come up with quite a number of documents, including the decision to charge, that will fit in within the SOPs, so that the investigators understand and appreciate the threshold that is required, as was pointed out by Honorable Justice Mulgo. The threshold, that evidence that we're going to present before the courts will be able, we as prosecutors will be able to prosecute it and demonstrate to the judge or the magistrate that we have evidence beyond reasonable doubt. And because of this, this exercise is absolutely essential and important. We must be able to work together. One, to be able to eradicate, but we can only be able to eradicate the practice if we as stakeholders on the ground are able to work together and ensure that the evidence is properly collected, is properly collated, and is properly packaged for the prosecutor to be able to prosecute the case before court. But we are also expected, or I also expect that we will be able to go to the ground and sensitize the public so that they understand the ills of FGM, but they also understand that we will only be able to eradicate it, and we will only be able to help the communities if they are willing to talk, if they are willing to give us the evidence, if they are willing to become witnesses, and if we should also be able to give them the confidence to be able to work with us. There is no way that we are going to be able to eradicate this practice if we do not have the cooperation that is desired. But then again, we also must be individuals of integrity, because without integrity, we will not be able to convince the public that we are there to help them and we are there to ensure that this exercise is eradicated. Perhaps in the SOPs, we will try as best as we can, because of the cultural probably taboo behind women sharing their inner, I don't know how I can put it, but it's a matter that really, if discussed, really encroaches on someone's privacy. So we will try as best as possible from ODPP to ensure that we have female prosecutors working on this, with the ladies who are affected. I will also ask the Inspector General of Police to ensure that the police officers investigating are also women police officers, to give confidence to the women and girls who are affected by this. So once again, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to the UNFPA, to the ODPP staff also, for this exercise today. Have been successfully undertaken it. I also want to give my special thanks to Honorable Justice Mugo for coming and agreeing to represent the Chief Justice, who was not able to come today. Your presence and the attention that the Chief Justice places to this is, of course, testament to your commitment to ending FGM in Kenya. And I assure you that we will work together hand in hand, together with the other stakeholders who are here today. So thank you, and God bless you.
Tunaahidi mashtaka yenye haki na usawa.